What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Post Hype. I'm your host, MJ, and oh my goodness, guys, I am so excited. I'm getting like a little girl right now because just a few hours ago, we actually got word from Tobey Maguire, the original Spider-Man himself, that he is more than open to come back for Avengers Secret Wars. Now, come on, if you're excited for this, leave a thumbs up on the video because I just can't get over this news right here. There has been so many rumors that we are going to get both Andrew Garfield and Tobey back for the movie. However, there's also been speculation regarding the X-Men and Wolverine, and I think what really leads this to be some super special news is that Hugh Jackman is already confirmed, obviously for Deadpool 3, but that just leads me to believe that we are going to get so many more awesome cameos back to back to back to back. I mean, if they're gonna outdo themselves like they did in Endgame and Infinity War, obviously the stakes are just raised through the roof, and I think the only way to do that is to bring everybody back. Now, what they're gonna do after Secret Wars, I don't know, but that's not what we're talking about today. We actually just got confirmation, like I said, from the man himself, Mr. Tobey Maguire, where he did a little bit of an interview, and he just said he would be so more than willing to come back and do almost anything for the MCU. He actually was quoted saying, "I love these films, and I love all the different series. If these guys called me and said, would you show up tonight to hang out and goof around? Or would you show up to do this movie or read a scene or do a Spider-Man thing? It would be yes with an exclamation point, because why wouldn't I want to do that?" And I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to do that, especially if you already were in the role and loved by so many fans like Tobey Maguire is, and he is the true and through Spider-Man. If you ask me, he's my Spider-Man. I just love Tobey Maguire so much. I grew up on his movies, and he honestly ignited so much passion and excitement into me, not only for believing that you can be whatever you want at the end of the day, but also for getting into the Marvel Universe and comics and all of that. Sam Raimi as well deserves a little bit of the credit, but come on, guys. I mean, Tobey Maguire is just a different breed of human. He seems so awesome and so fit for the role of Spider-Man. I mean, I just don't want to see anybody else but him. Obviously, we have Andrew Garfield, who does a great job as well, although his movies weren't handled the best in my opinion. That might be controversial, maybe not. And I think Tom Holland just absolutely blows it away, but for some reason, to me, Tobey Maguire is that guy. And so I really think this is so cool. We got this article right here from thedirect.com, and it goes on to just talk about all of the excitement regarding the possibilities of everything that we might get in Secret Wars. We have a bunch of tweets as well mentioned where people want to see him and Hugh Jackman together, Spider-Man and Wolverine. That would be the most badass team up of all time. We also have people saying that they want to see him with Eric Bana's Hulk, which would be so cool as well. I mean, throwing it all the way back to the 2003 Hulk movie, which also was pretty good. I love that, and the direction that they took with the comic book feel. I mean, it would be so cool to see everybody come back for this film. And obviously, we already got Professor X in Multiverse of Madness, so I mean, it's just being set up so obviously for a huge abundance of cameos. And I think the one that everybody is waiting for, except Tobey Maguire, is Robert Downey Jr. I mean, just imagine this, guys, for 1 second. Just give me a break, all right? Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man next to Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I mean, the sixth grader in me would just be so blown away. I would drop to my knees in tears in the theater. I would pray to the Marvel gods, thank you for blessing us with this opportunity, because if I wasn't shedding enough tears during Endgame, and if I wasn't emotional enough, I was pulling a full-on Kevin Smith in the theater. I don't know how I'm gonna feel in Secret Wars. My only fear is obviously that they have to do it the right way, with the way that the story was resolved in No Way Home, as well in Endgame with Robert Downey Jr.'s death as Tony Stark. They obviously have to bring both of them back in a way that is warranted and makes sense in the storyline, but I believe in Kevin Feige and all of the directors and writers and teams that he puts together. So far, they have not let us down that much. I mean, Phase 4 was a little bit of a flop, but I mean, it still had its bangers here and there, so I'm not fully discouraged, and I'm not going to lessen my belief in the MCU just yet. And with the DCU ramping up and we have James Gunn taking over, it really seems like Marvel, for the first time in a long time, is going to have some actual stern competition on its way, and I think that they're going to have their backs against the wall at least a little bit if they don't really get the seatbelt buckled and hit the car into overdrive and make sure that Phase 5 is just a banger after banger type of phase, because we haven't really seen something like that, in my opinion, since Endgame and Infinity War, and that was what, 2, 3, 4 years ago at this point. It's been too long. Marvel has gotten too comfortable, and I think seeing somebody like Tobey Maguire return in Secret Wars is just what we need. I think all of the buildup that we get to that point is the most important factor, however, because if Secret Wars is just this big big event that isn't led up to, it's not going to be worth anything. I mean, that's why Infinity War and Endgame were so great for the fans and for people all around the world, because if you played a part in this journey over the last 10 years while we had phase 1, 2, and 3, it just meant so much. You had so much minor details, so many minor plot threads. There were so many little nuances that you could take in and just appreciate, where it doesn't seem like the way that they've restarted with phase 4, that they've taken that same approach. So I really hope that Marvel, Kevin Feige, the whole team rethinks their strategy and doesn't just go for these big cameos without building up to it and making everything worth it. That being said, though, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. If you're excited for Tobey Maguire returning, make sure to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe.